It's Friday, and I had another grilled cheese sandwich for lunch. For those of you with ears to hear, can smell what I'm stepping in. That's right, I'm back with another fictitious essay. Today, we're discussing the concept of autochthony and the mythical figure known as Jesus. We all know who Jesus was. The virgin-born female who gave birth, or rather transitioned to a male through drugs, and then back again. The back again part is the unresolved aspect of the gospel, according to Karl Marx. However, autochthony is a complex concept to digest. When I was young, it seemed like an elaborate way of justifying fascism and settler colonialism. I still believe this to be true, which is why at the age of 35, I am only now considering learning to decipher the squiggly lines called Greek. I promise we will address why Jesus is significant before I finish this essay. To oversimplify intentionally, the myth of autochthony is how the Greeks justified their mistreatment of the indigenous peoples of Athens. There exists an underlying and at times explicit tension between these two groups. The former group represents those who document history. There's something about the victorious writing history, but does it really matter? The Greeks, like all civilizations before and after them, have fallen. Were they truly ever victorious? Who cares? They brought it upon themselves. Don't take people's lands and your so-called civilization might survive. Whatever. Like all forms of nationalism, Greek autochthony grapples with the notion of blood and soil. It's always a foolish idea that never works, and the Greeks fell victim to their own ignorance. Their walls trapped them and eventually crumbled upon them when the cracks in the foundation were exposed to the soil they cherished so dearly. Poetic justice and irony are beautiful things. Obviously, I've been extensively reading Deleuze and Guattari, D and G, and I highly recommend you do the same. Their work on this topic and its implications for the Greek maritime mind has caused my brain to overflow from my ears. Thankfully, I managed to clean up the mess with the towel of Minerva. During the cleanup, I noticed something. The destruction of the Greek coastline bears resemblance to the tearing apart of Dionysus, and this brings me back to Jesus. The whole notion of being born of a woman to prove that Jesus was a real person is absurd. Clearly, the writers are simply playing with the idea of being born of the soil and born of citizens. Though I don't have a PhD and I've just finished using the toilet, I do know that apologists tend to be ignorant of anything Greek they dislike, or worse, they are entirely ignorant of the Greek mindset. I don't have a stake in this argument. My sympathies lie with the indigenous people of Athens, who have been silenced and lost to history. It is due to this ancient prejudice that we have lost much of the invaluable traditional medicine practiced by native cultures for generations. It took only a few generations for Greek men to forget how to properly prepare potent drugs and instead force these substances into agricultural production. I believe that's all I can say for now. Reflect on that. Flush.